Don't you forget it. Okay, well, let's just start for a second. So we'll try to take care of necks, elbows, shoulders, and sore knees, sore hips. We got so much, so little time. Okay, so we'll start with just putting your hands on your hip bones for a moment. And then from there, you can kind of rock and stretch one hip bone forward and then drop it back. Let the other hip move forward and then back. So I just want you to see if while you're sitting here, you can feel the hips sort of loosening up. One hip bone moving forward, one hip bone moving back. Good. And then from there, let's pause. Let your two hip bones move a little forward and then move the two hip bones back. So just stretch here a few times in this low part of your belly, seeing if freeing ourselves up down here gives us a little more space as we move up the spine. Good. So now let's see if we can hold the tailbone and hips steady and just reach your rib cage side to side. Just noticing where you might be holding on, any tension tangled up in there. And then from there, let's just circle your rib cage all the way around. Good. And you can take it the other way. Good. And then let's bring our hands up to our collarbones and try a few big circles with your arms. Good. Just paying attention to the shoulders. All right, so let's take those circles, let them travel the other way. And then hold the two elbows up and take one hand to the opposite elbow and let the fingertips on that bottom hand just slide down so it moves to the middle of your back or middle of your neck. Not all the way down the back, that'd be ridiculous. Good. And then from here, let's switch. So let the opposite hand kind of lightly just hug that elbow up alongside the ear. So you just feel a little space being made. Good. And then from here, let's take your two hands to your shoulders. To your elbows, and then let the arm bones pull across your chest. So if you feel hung up, caught up at all, just the arms move across you. Good. And then from here, let's just pause. I'm going to hold this arm with my opposite arm. So I have my left arm kind of held in the crook of my right arm. And I'm going to take my neck side to side. Good. And then from here, let's just change that cross and let the arm come across your body, giving a little hug there. Good. And then from there, let's open the two arms right back up. Let the fingertips walk out wide. And then same thing, just check in with your neck here as your fingertips move wide. And then we're going to roll the elbows just forward and back. So it's just really movement that's happening in the humerus bone. We want you to see if maybe you feel a stretch in the forearms as the inner elbows roll forward. Hold that little roll forward. And now let the palms come to face out. I'm going to take my right hand to my left ear and just stretch. Good. Inhale, open that up. Opposite hand to ear. Let it come down and stretch. Good. Continue to roll and reach out to the opposite hand. Good. And now let's just take two hands behind the head open into the hands, let the armpits stretch, release. Good. And then hands on top of the head, let the head float down. Feel a big stretch in the back of the neck. Good. And then we'll inhale, sweep the two arms up. Take your right hand to the left wrist and let that pull across your body. Good. Inhale. Let's switch sides. So now taking that arm up and over. Now we'll inhale, sort of free the arms back up one more time. Bring the palms together behind you. Feel the chest open. Good. And you can set the hands down and open the two legs. Good. So now I'm just going to lightly rest my hands to the inners of my legs and stretch across my body. Inhale up and exhale, stretch in the opposite direction. So making space to the right side and then through the left as you cross, center. Good. And then from here, we'll move our sternums forward and exhale, move the sternum back. So really this whole time you could watch your sternum, see how far you can take it forward. Inhale, come up sitting tall, and then how far back you can hinge. Just really letting the sternum lead the way. Good. Let's try that one more time. And then we'll pause, let the arms come in front of you. And now another little cat-cow. This time you might feel more stretch through the neck. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, rounding under. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, rounding under. Inhale, coming up. Good. Hold that up, reach the arms out. And now your left foot, hug it in towards the sitting bone. And once again, you can rock your ribs side to side. And just feeling a little looseness, a little circulation there. Let's stretch away from your extended leg and let your body just hang, move closer to the floor. Good. We'll inhale, push up, and now sweep two arms to the outside of the extended leg. And then we'll inhale, push, bring the arms back up, and exhale, change the position of the legs. So now sweeping the rib cage once again, just a little gentle motion to relax the hips, the neck, the back. Good. And then we'll take a big breath. Inhale the arms up, reach away from the extended leg. And let the neck release as much as it needs to. Inhale, sitting tall. Now exhale, sweep two hands to the outside of the leg. Inhale, reaching up. Now we'll just extend two legs out. Good. And then same thing, we're gonna move the ribs, but now let the head come down with your rib cage. So you let the body move a little closer to each thigh. Inhaling maybe as you lower, exhale to pull yourself up. Inhale, lowering down. Exhale, coming up. Inhale, lowering down. Exhaling up. One more time, each direction. Good. So now we'll take the arms and see if you can just create a really small little circle with your torso. And try that the other way. Good. Let's inhale, come, bring the palms down in front of you. Slide the right fingers down the left palm, stretch the wrist. So see if you can get all 4 of your fingers to connect to the palm. Good. Inhale, bring that up. Slide the fingers down and stretch the palm the other way. Stretch the other palm the other way. Good. Inhale back up and then thumb to the palm, stretching over. And then same thing, other hand. Good. Let's inhale, take that up. And exhale, a long reach over now. So choose a leg, we'll go to both. So any old way is just fine. Aiming to find some deep extension through your side here. And we'll inhale, sit tall. And exhale, find that twist. Find that stretch the other way. Inhale up, and now this time we're gonna twist towards one leg and extend. So I'm taking opposite hand anywhere on the leg, even all the way down to the foot. Good, we'll inhale, come up, and then twist. And same thing, just stretch towards that leg. Opposite hand to foot. And we'll inhale to come and sit tall. Exhale, slide your 2 feet together and stretch out over your legs. You can pull back a little bit with your arms. And then we'll push down with your hands, lift the spine. Inhale up. I'm going to take my right leg to the outside of my left foot, then lift my left leg and bend it back. Good. And then from here, I'm going to turn first toward my top leg and twist. And then inhale, sweep my arms back up, and exhale, twist toward my top leg. Good. We'll inhale, come tall. Exhale, unfold the legs out in front of you and take another Paschimottanasana, another long forward bend. And then we'll inhale, sit all the way up nice and tall. Take your left leg now over the right leg. And then if you like, then the right leg back. And we'll first take our arms up, twist towards the top leg. And then we'll inhale, take the arms up, and exhale, twist the other way. Let's inhale back through your center. Unfold the legs into a Baddha Konasana. So you'll let the knee joints come out, and then from here, if you like, just kind of flutter the knees, opened and closed, just feeling connection through the heels and the inner thighs. Good. And then I'm going to take one hand to my foot. This is me going to my right side first. Stretch and extend the leg away. You can take your gaze the other way. And exhale, slowly release, bringing the leg back in. Trying that on the other side. So now lifting, sitting tall, extending the leg, and stretching, taking your gaze in the opposite direction. And then from here, bending the knees, bringing your weight back to your sitting bones. Inhale and exhale, extend the two legs out. So again, your feet can just come off of the mat or they can extend a little, extend a little. You could try this with just bent knees. You could go back to one leg. This is a win-win any old way. Good. So let's exhale, close now. And then bring yourself. So I'm going to let my left side face the computer here. Put my hands behind my legs and just lightly rock on my back a few times. Good. So when you come up, see if you can balance on your sitting bones. When you move back, see if you can balance on your shoulder blades. So inhale, come up. And exhale, rock back. Then we'll inhale, come up. And exhale, rock back. And one more time, inhale, coming up. And exhale, rocking back. This time, instead of rocking all the way back up, just let the pelvis now move to the floor. Let the feet come into the floor as well. And then from here, let's just lightly tap your feet right and left into the floor. Good. And see if you can now lift the heels and just let the balls of the feet tap into the floor. And feeling your center strong, connected to this movement. Now the heels, let them lightly tap into the floor. Good. And now roll balls to heels with your feet. Good. Just kind of lightly lifting, scooping up. The heels lift, come down. Good. So you're just getting a little waking up in your feet. Beautiful. And then from here, take your right leg and begin a light little bicycling movement. Good. And then let the leg bicycle the other way. Good. And then we'll take the leg, turn the toes in, turn the toes out on the top leg. In and out. And then you can slowly let the legs circle all the way around. So you're just getting a little massage in the hip socket. And again, let that move the other way. And then we'll sweep our hands behind this leg. Take a big breath, lift your head and chest, and take your gaze up to your belly button for a moment. Now, as you come down, see about letting the leg move a little bit closer to you. And then let's open your bottom knee to the side and open the leg, the long leg out to the side. And then exhale, let those legs cross over, let the top leg stretch out and away. So it's come across the midline of my body. And then I'm going to fold that ankle so it comes to rest on the opposite thigh and bring my hands behind the leg and just press the thighs a little closer to my chest. Feeling the back of the hip stretch and your back lengthen out. And then let's place just the right foot on the floor. Release the arms to the side, and then we're going to bicycle the left leg now. So just watch the movement, particularly if you have any tightness, soreness, discomfort in your knees. Let this kind of clear the knee and the hip. Okay, let's change the direction. Great, and now we're going to pause with that leg up in the air, and then just a few times turn it out and in, out and in, out and in. Just releasing the leg in the hip socket, feeling the inner and outer rotation. And then you can make a few little circles here. And take it the other way. And then pause with that leg back in the middle. You can take your hands behind the thigh. And exhale, lift your head and chest up, looking at the belly, perhaps bringing the hands down the leg a little more. Pull the shoulder blades apart. And stretch through the neck and shoulders. And then exhale, release. Let your head come down. And perhaps the leg moves a little closer to you, reaching through the heel. And now we'll turn the toes out and open the leg to the side, open the bent knee to the side as well. Inhale, return that leg, and then let it gently cross the midline of the thigh of the body. As it crosses, you roll the thigh bone down towards the opposite thigh to really stretch your IT band. And then from here, we're going to fold at the knee, place the ankle on the opposite thigh, and exhale, bring the two legs up and just lightly press in. It's really discovering a deep release there in the hip. And from there, take your two legs up, let the arms come out to the side, and then let's just lightly bicycle one leg and then the other. So now when two legs are in the air and working, you want to feel more connection into the belly, into the abdominals. And then let the legs travel the other way. Turn the toes in, then the heels in now. The legs overhead. And then let's pause, let the knees turn out and flex the feet, bend and straighten the knees a few times here. So you're just kind of doing an imaginary leg press.
kind of trying to clear the knees after all those stairs, Penny. All right, so then from here, lightly let the legs sweep out, hold for a breath, and then cross the body and make it hold for a breath. So you'll reach out and then let them cross, reaching out and letting them cross, reaching out and letting them cross. And then from here, let's take a few circles, both legs moving out at the same time and then in. Good. And now pause with the two legs up in the air. You're going to take the hands behind the thighs. Exhale, lift the head and chest, looking at the belly. Now pull the elbows wide, the head come up, letting the neck release. Maybe you'll walk your hands a little bit further down the legs, maybe letting the tailbone come up. And then we'll slowly let the pelvis return to the floor. Bend the knees, put the feet next to your heels or right beneath your heels, and lift. Exhale, releasing the pelvis down. Now, interlacing the fingers, move the hands behind the head, pull up on the head, and let the back of the neck stretch and release. Good. Inhale right from here. Open the arms out. Take the right leg, let it cross the left. Let the legs travel to the left and move the gaze to the right. Give yourself a few breaths here. Inhale, move the legs back up, push the left foot into the floor, let the pelvis come up for just a few breaths. And then we'll set the pelvis right back down and hug the knees, hug in one more time. So I'm lifting now my head, and then I'm going to take my hands to my ankles and lower down, and just once again let the pelvis rock and release. Hands on your feet. Unfolding the legs. Set the right foot to the floor. Now the left leg comes over it. We'll stretch the arms back up, interlace the fingers behind the head. The legs will now go to the right, and your gaze can come to the left so you feel a long stretch through the hips. Another big inhale, and then exhale. Push that bottom foot down, lifting the legs back up. Now you'll lift the pelvis and hold for a few breaths. Then exhale, releasing back down. Draw the knees over the chest. Exhale, lift your head and chest. Take your nose towards your knees, then your hands to the ankles. Good. And then slowly release the head back down and lightly rock your crossed legs. And then let's open up the legs, open the arms, and just loosely sort of shake and move and swirl your limbs all the way around. So let it go. And then we're going to put our feet on the floor, take the arms overhead. I'm going to slightly take my pelvis back from the computer screen and then roll towards it. So now I'm balanced on my left side. Let's start with opening and closing your top leg. So the knee will bend, come up and down. Good. So just feeling, might feel a little work through the inner thigh and also that outside hamstring, in addition to the glutes. Good. And now you're going to turn the leg in and let the foot float up. So the knee joint presses into the bottom knee. Just feeling the inner rotation of that leg. Now we're going to try and lift the top leg just evenly. So feeling the knee, the hip, the ankle. Good. Now holding that leg, let it travel forward, let it travel back. Good. So you're going to keep the ribs and the hips steady as the leg moves. And then with the knee bent, let that leg circle a few times in the hip socket. And then allow it to circle, travel the other way. Good. Now bending the back knee and taking your hand there to the ankle, stretch and feel your top shoulder. Get a good release. And then exhale, I'm going to bring that bent knee up towards my shoulder. Good. Now I'm going to wrap my arm to the outside of the leg. Let the leg stretch up. Maybe take my hand to the foot. You can point and flex the foot a little bit here. Good. Slide the bottom leg long. Feel a long stretch. From here, let the top leg start to travel forward. Come onto the floor. Your top arm can now circle. Nice and slow, so feel where there are those creaks, those tight spots, and see if you can't work it out. Now changing the direction. Good. Now from here, we're going to take this top arm to your bent back leg and stretch, and then open away from the top leg. And then from here, let's look back at that long foot, that foot in front of you. And we're going to push down and bring ourselves up. So leaving that leg on top. Now you'll take the opposite arm, reach it back behind the head. And that same hand to your lumbar. And then lightly let the fingertips kind of crawl up and down the back towards each other.
Take a moment to release the arms, roll the shoulders, stretch toward your top leg. And then from here, let's unfold the legs, reach them out, and come to rest on the other side, starting with your knees bent. Ooh. So we'll begin now with the top knee lifting and lowering on this side. So again, you want to feel the inner thigh, the gluteal group here, and a little bit in this outside part of your leg. Good. So now let's pause, let the knee joint come down and turn the knee in and lift the heel and the ankle. So you're really feeling the inner rotation of the leg. Good. Now we're going to let the whole leg lift and lower by itself, keeping a parallel rotation. Pushing the bottom leg down. Good. Now holding that leg up, lightly circle in the hip socket. Circle the other way. Good. Moving the leg forward and back just a few times. And then we're going to pause with the leg reaching behind you. Take the hand, that top foot, and reach towards the ankle. Create a stretch through the chest and shoulder, a stretch through the hip and the knee. And then we're going to slide the knee up towards your shoulder and let the leg just rest here for a moment. As it feels nice, you might extend, take the hand to the foot, or anywhere on the leg that feels good, maybe getting a little pointed flex. And then also ultimately lengthening out that bottom leg. Good. So now we'll hold the flex and let that foot travel forward. Good. Rolling the outside edge of the foot down towards the floor. And now a few circles with your top arm. And taking it around the other way. Good. From here, you're going to twist all the way away from that top leg. And then exhale, just roll my torso back towards it. Take my top hand to my bottom leg. Stretch away once again. Maybe taking this hand to my foot. So this top hip, this femur bone wants to roll down in the hip socket. And then after your next breath, just push up with your two hands, still leaving this top leg where it is. And then you'll slide. And so now You should still have the left leg or same leg on top. And we'll just sit back in a little Gomukhasana. Good. So the opposite hand will come behind the head. Same hand of the top leg will go behind your sacrum. And you let the shoulder release. And maybe the hands crawl towards each other here. After your next exhale, lightly release the arms and then go ahead and stretch over the top leg. And then we're going to open away from it and find ourselves on all fours. So, just like a little baby, rock your hips just a bit forward and just a little bit back. This is how babies start, this is what they do before they start crawling. So it's I think to help you develop a little sense of stability in your core. So just do a little rocking here. And then we're going to change this up a little bit. Reach back and let one arm come up a few times. Good. Now reach your hips forward. Let the back stretch just there. Reach and move the weight back once again. And then the opposite arm lifts just a few times. Good. A big long stretch forward once again. And then we'll exhale, move some weight back and really activate the hamstrings and let two arms come up just a few times. And then we'll walk our hands out and let the pelvis and the hips begin to melt towards the floor and you'll come down. So let's try turning your fingertips in towards your forehead. Good. And just stretch your elbows, pull them up and away from your back. From here, you can lift up, let the fingertips come face forward, let the head stretch back towards the heels. And then exhale, release, let the head come down, let the two knees bend. Good. Maybe reach your hands towards your feet. So your hands could rest on your low back, or if it feels comfortable to get the ankles there, that's fine too. Let's inhale, lengthen the two legs right back out. Bring the palms together over your back and exhale, lift your head and chest as you pull the tailbone down. And we'll exhale, release. Now let the head come down and the arms float up. And then exhale, releasing. Now take your, so you're going to take your right leg and kick towards the left sitting bone. And now hug that leg just across you. So I've grabbed the foot with the opposite hand. You can now fold that over the opposite foot and feel yourself stretch your ankles here.
Inhale, extend the two legs out. And now you're going to let the right leg stretch towards the left foot, but it's coming in first, then the left foot towards the right hand. And then we're going to pull the elbows wide and give a little stretch to the ankles and knees. And from there, exhale, release, let the soles of the feet come together. And then let the feet move away from the pelvis. We'll inhale, pick the legs right back up, and then just lightly sway side to side. And then little circles through the bottom half of the legs and letting them circle the other way. Let's inhale, press, bring the palms underneath you, toes underneath you. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lift the hips. Take the head down and the tailbone up. And then I'm going to come and deepen this, change this stretch a little by letting my weight rest on my head. Roll it just a few times forward and back. And from here, we'll inhale, look up, let your two knees separate, and then the heels pull towards each other, and then the sits bones back towards the heels, and then exhale, lower down. So just feel the rib cage melt between the two thighs. The arms come hug on top of your back for just a moment. And then we'll push our palms into the floor and find a comfortable way just back down. So if you want to rock a little bit on your back, maybe once you're down here, let the legs circle over you just a few times. And then let the right leg and the left leg come long. And let the breath move down and low. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through the nose, nice and long. And then when you feel ready, just begin to lightly wiggle your fingers and your toes. And circle the ankles and the wrists. Taking the arms up overhead, stretching right and stretching left. And then drawing your knees in over your chest.
Rocking your back side to side, front to back. And we'll roll to the right side. Press up, find a seated position.
And bring the palms together. Bow the head, close the eyes. Your practice is a gift, everyone. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Namaste.